Fantastic. Alrighty. So let's get going. Do you have any questions to start with? Do you want to talk about the New Zealand person? That just cracked me up, you know. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting around and I'm waiting for somebody to want to chat with me.
Yeah.
I literally only jump on a call if somebody actually is ready to do something, but not to, oh, maybe she can send me the price list and the packages and all of that. So that's not going to happen.
Maybe I gave her the wrong impression, but I didn't say
No.
want to get on a call with Barbara today. I just said, look, you know, here's some basic information, but if you're happy to, I can put you in touch with Barbara who can explain things further and help you like
Yeah.
choose the right way to get started.
Maybe
Uh,
use the phrase, and you can arrange a call with her, because, or she can arrange a call with you, because there's no way I would have jumped. I mean, I literally just look at my calendar and I give them a time that is possible. So even if they would say, "Oh, I'm ready now," I have zero time today at
yeah,
all. Like, it's already a 14-hour day and it's like
yeah.
no extra calls.
Well,
So
I now replied to her and I said, oh, no worries. Like Barbara wouldn't have had time today.
mm,
I said that. But sometimes she can squeeze people in.
yeah, exactly.
So I did what you
Yeah,
suggested.
good.
Um, but I wonder if it's because she's just interested in a machine and she's just like, oh, maybe the business. Whereas if someone wanted to know about the business, they'd be like, yeah, get me on a call.
But
I'm,
even I don't understand, if she just wants to buy the machine, why is she then suddenly talking about the package?
yeah. See,
See?
she's curious. She's curious about,
Yeah.
she watched a webinar a week ago and didn't realize it was a Magic. And when she realized it was, she was like, she told me, she said, oh, it was good to hear a bit about how the business works. And then I thought I would come and check in with you because I know you're new in it. So she's like curious. It's just been there and in her mind.
Yeah. Look, as we said before, people are totally aware of Enagic and the business. And it's, as you said last time, it's a really fast learning curve to not hold back. Okay. If somebody only wants to have the machine and that's what they talk to you about, that's one thing. But always otherwise talk about, this is the business and that's the product.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and I just want to say that, so for tonight, for example, I just said to Bill before we got on, I'm so excited about tonight because that is what I enjoy the most. It's a pure business presentation to show what is possible and to show how you can achieve legacy income in a short period of time and what's involved and the numbers. And when I write down the numbers, and I had to do all the numbers new because, of course, the price rise and everything else, it blows your mind. It totally blows your mind. You just go, anybody who wouldn't do that just hasn't got their head straight. Because if you can make close to $10,000 with one sale, that's like, okay, I do one a month. And then the rest is just whatever I want to do. It's incredible, really. So yeah, always
What's
keep that in mind. Hmm?
what's tonight?
Oh, it's Gawain.
Oh,
He
okay.
is having a few people around his home, and he wants to work with them as business builders. And so we are doing a presentation. He has them in his home, and we are just via Zoom talking to them and presenting the business.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. That's what we did for Bryce when he said, this is what we want, that this is where I want to go. How can we do it? So we just managed it around him.
Mm.
And because not every if you get a bunch of people together and you say, look, I spoke to these people, they're all into health, they're all into water, they're all into this. Can we do a health presentation? And I do it at home. And can you either come up or can we do it via Zoom and we stream it into my home? Then we can do that. Okay, so for example, people who have a network, a bigger network, there was one particular, he saw what is possible, he saw the numbers, and then he said to his uh, direct sponsor, which was Balazs, you know the name already, which was Balazs, and he said, look, if I get a few people together, would you do a webinar? And Balazs said, yeah, sure. And this guy got, I think, over 100 people in the room, and he literally went 6A in a week.
Mm.
So, you know, because he presented that to all the people, and the people were just, oh my gosh, I'd be stupid if I don't start right now. So it is always depending on what you want to present and where your mind is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything and everything is possible. Everything is amazing what you can do. And as we said last time, in Magic is you self-determine your career. Okay. Whereas in a job, you don't self-determine your career. It's determined by somebody else.
Mm.
So it's that. Before I pass on to Bill, maybe he wants to do
How do
something.
you go with your water?
Oh, yeah.
Taking you to delivering the water.
Yeah, I made it in one piece.
Good job.
It looked so cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. I had my hand on it the whole time, holding it when I went around corners.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Yes, it
Yeah.
looks a little bit
Wobbly.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Not the best way.
I tend to put those things on the floor in the back of the car rather than
Sort of
beside me, but that's just the
put
way
it
I do
together.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed to fix it in place. But
Yeah.
yeah, I delivered it okay, and
Good.
I'll go and top it up in a few days. But she's a real water snob, and she tasted it yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, it's very nice." And I was like, "Yes."
Nice. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. She's the one with the health issues.
Yes,
She
yeah.
she's just had a knee surgery, so she's recovering from that. So we've talked about the machine, but she's not really interested in buying one. But I just was like, I'll just give you this, and I hope it helps you with your health. But we did get talking naturally yesterday. She said, "Oh, I wonder if that's more cost effective than these bottles that I'm buying." And I'm like, "It will be. These machines can last up to like 20 years." So it's
Yeah.
and I'm like, by the way, these bottles that you're buying, they're plastic, and that's leaching into your water. And so I'm sure she's
Yeah.
thinking.
Also, I mean, it's really good that she has the water and she tastes it now. Okay. So if you do that now for a minimum of 10 days and then
Yeah.
you take it away, she'll miss it like crazy because it not only tastes nice, but she will have more energy drinking it. Her body will hurt less, and she will have all these, side effects, more energy, sleeping better, joints don't hurt, the body doesn't hurt. And then you take it away. And usually, because nobody notices when they feel better, and usually when you say, how do you feel? They say, oh, I didn't really feel a difference. And then you take it away. And a couple of days later, they go, I think I'm going to buy one. This is really not good. It's incredibly powerful. So yeah, it's a great job that you do that.
Certainly something we found when we go to Europe
Yeah.
without the machine.
Oh,
Within a few days, we start to really notice that we don't have the water.
it takes less than a week.
Yeah.
And then we
Wow.
feel our joints, we are more tired, less energy. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
I don't know if I've told you, but I had this really strange thing happening with my eye for like the last 12 months. And when my pupil just starts dilating at random. I've had it investigated. There's no one knows what it is. They call it some benign condition caused by inflammation. That's their guess. That's happened to me maybe once or twice since I've had the machine. So
Good.
I significantly notice a reduction in that.
So you need to get as fast as possible onto the Yukon, because that will reduce the inflammation in your body even faster.
So you have that in common with our dog, actually.
She has that as well. She has the same condition.
I think
Yeah.
that's so strange. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
thought I was having a stroke the first time. I panicked. I was like, what is happening? I've had MRIs done.
yeah.
It's only the last year it started. And it's like every 2 to 3 weeks, it'll happen for like 4 or 5 days in a row, like all day long. It's big, it's small, it's big, it's small. My
Wow.
only the right side.
Interesting. So left
So
sided.
do you then wear sunglasses during the time because you're very light sensitive when it opens?
It only opens for a few seconds and then it
Oh,
comes down again. It's so random.
yeah.
Well, with the dog, once it happens, it's there. Then she has it all the time now.
Yeah, because we thought that she was going blind, we thought there was a problem, and then the vet
Yeah,
investigated
we went to a
it. Yeah,
specialist, and she said, "Oh yeah," she said, "this is it's just a
yeah,
benign
yeah,
whatever it was. I can't remember what they called it now." And she said, "Yeah, and it was just in the one eye. I think she now has it in both eyes." But yeah, it was just one of those things that I'd noticed, and I just
she
wanted
has
to
it
know
in one
why.
eye.
And the vet said, "Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah,
uncommon, but it's difficult for them in the sunlight."
yeah, and it doesn't impair her.
Okay.
It doesn't impair her view, her sight or anything. She's just sensitive to light, and you can tell. Bill goes for a walk with her early in the morning anyway, and if he goes later, then she doesn't enjoy it as much. So also she likes lying in the sun, but only with her eyes closed, and she goes like this, she just
I think the thing about the machine though, and I think this is something that you find over time. So every time Barbara asks me a question, if I don't know the answer, I go and research it. And today she was talking to somebody in the States who has Crohn's disease. And so I thought, oh, okay, fine, I'll check that out. So I check it out, and sure enough, they've done research on molecular hydrogen and Crohn's disease, and it reduces the inflammatory effect within the gut, and therefore reduces the symptoms of Crohn's. So, when you're looking at it from a health point of view, and I find this fascinating, you all that you do is when somebody says, "Oh, I have this wrong with me," go and research molecular hydrogen,
yeah,
because the research is coming out now. Not in droves, and the research I looked at was on one was on mice, another one was on rats, but that's how they do the research. And the interesting thing that they showed in this research was that it actually upregulates gene expression. So it helps the anti-inflammatory markers for Crohn's in this particular case by upregulating something, which means making it more effective. So you are in when you're working with genes, you either upregulate or downregulate. So you increase the ability of gene expression with something, or you decrease it. And this was increasing it. So it's really worth it when somebody says, "Oh yeah, I got that." You say, "Oh, yeah, let me check that out. I'll come back to you." So go and then check that out. And so when you're looking at healing for the ACL, for example, you can go and look at the effect of molecular hydrogen on healing or post-surgical healing, for example, and then you say there's the research. Because each time you do that, it strengthens your understanding belief of the product, but also it gives you more and more credibility. So when I research these things, I look for the scholarly articles on, not I don't go for the hearsay stuff. Otherwise you get this wishy-washy, things that don't really hold water scientifically. So when people talk about microclustering, have you come across microclustering yet?
Yeah, I've seen people mention it, and I've seen people mention it's not really
A thing.
it's not a
Yeah,
thing.
it's not
not a
really a thing.
No.
No. So I have to say, I ignore those things because they're the things that you lose credibility by. But when somebody comes with whatever they have, then it's just worth going to check to see. We know that molecular hydrogen changes the way that we react to cancer, for example, and there's an increase in cancer cell death with molecular hydrogen, while at the same time, paradoxically, there's an increase in cellular vitality in normal cells. So there's a whole load of stuff out there. It's really, really exciting when you're looking at it from a health from a health point of view. So whenever somebody, you know, it's just let it go in the back of your mind. And what I do is, if I don't know the answer, obviously I have a lot more answers now than I used to. I go, let me get back to you on that one, and then I go and do my research, or I call somebody like you call me and say, hey, what do you know about this? And I'll say, oh yeah, that's that. And then you go with that information to people.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that because, you know, I'm an information seeker.
Yeah.
And it's one reason I haven't shared really about the water yet is I want to make sure that when I do, it's something, it's credible, whatever I'm saying. It's not just talking about microclustering that's not really going to, you know.
I mean, look, the thing with microcluster was when they came up with that term, that was all they knew. So Enagic had the technology, but the technology didn't have a name yet. Okay, so back then, microclustering was the way to explain it. So it's not like, oh, that's total rubbish. They didn't know what they were talking about. It is how it was seen at that time. Okay, and now that, of course, the research has really gone into all of that, and the research has gone into molecular hydrogen. I mean, if you think Enagic is such a trailblazer in that technology that they already created that and knew about the value of that for the body, that they created that technology with molecular hydrogen without knowing the massive effect it has on the body. And now the science officially,
without understanding why.
Without understanding.
Yeah.
And now the mainstream science is going public with it because for the last, I don't know, probably 30 years, they researched it. And now, because research only comes out after, 20, 30 years after all the people know it, then it goes into public, so that the mainstream knows it. And only now they officially give it a name, which is,
And that's really worth understanding. I'll give you a couple of examples of that. So I was talking about the effect of gum disease and the effect of gum disease on heart disease about 20 years before it actually became public knowledge. I was talking about sunscreen being a carcinogenic way before it was actually recognized as being carcinogenic. But then you look at some of the research. So I had this conversation with my dad. My dad was a GP. I had this conversation with him years ago, and he said he had a patch on his arm for I think pain reduction. I can't remember what it was for. And he said, Bill, he said, do you know you can put something on the skin and it goes through the skin into the body? I said, yes, Dad. And we discussed what we had learned at university. When he learnt about the skin, it was an impermeable membrane. When I learnt about the skin, it was a semi-impermeable membrane. Now we know it's a permeable membrane. So within 80 years, so from when Dad went to university to 50 years ago when I went to university to now,
everything has
shifted. So that's what we mean when we talk about the research catching up with the entrepreneurial endeavor. So you'll have somebody who will catch on to an idea. We were in New Ways for years, and Tom Maurer, who owned the company, was a visionary. And he saw stuff that people hadn't got to yet. Now, what he was saying when we joined the company 30 years ago plus, what he was saying, everybody was laughing at.
Yeah.
Now everybody takes it as
now all
normal.
The new companies are trying to do that too.
Yeah.
But that's 30 years later. So if anybody comes to you and says, oh, microcluster, and they haven't got a clue of what they're talking about, bring it back to that, because that is unique about the company. They are so far ahead in their development with technology that science hasn't given things a proper name. Okay, and that's the amazing thing.
And the next thing that happens is, of course, people go, well, why should I buy your molecular hydrogen machine? Yeah. There are others on the market and they're cheaper. Have you had that one?
Not personally, but I've seen people.
Yeah. And yeah. So there are a couple of things about that. And really important to understand. First of all, what companies are now doing is they're making specific molecular hydrogen machines that do nothing else. So are they cheaper? Yeah, because that's all the machine does. But our machine does a whole load of other things. I mean, it has over 60 uses. So yeah, you can produce molecular hydrogen. That's great. So can we. But what else can your machine do? Well, nothing else. Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
And
ours does.
People will also mention at one point, I haven't had it yet because for me it's not on the radar, but I know how to counter it. So you can buy a bottle that produces molecular hydrogen, and it's only $1,000. Okay, and people say, well, I can get molecular hydrogen in this. So they have to buy the filter. The filter is really expensive to replace, and it has to be replaced very frequently. Okay, the bottle is a glass bottle. What if you drop it?
Yeah.
That's a very expensive $1,000 spent. Okay, so and again, as Bill says, it only has that one thing, that molecular hydrogen.
And the other thing that's worth noting is that while we said to you, yeah, go ahead, take a glass bottle round to this friend of yours, the potency of the water reduces over time because molecular hydrogen is so small that it will actually leach through the glass. Well, they say it'll leach through the glass, whether it does or not, but certainly it reduces in potency over time. So 2 to 3 days is probably max. Some research says it's 45 minutes. Who really knows? We don't. But what we know is the efficacy of the water because we've been drinking it long enough to see the benefits of the product.
So just keep these things in mind when people come.
Yeah.
With
And the biggest thing to say when somebody comes to you with something you don't know the answer to, say, let me get back to you on that, or I know somebody who can help you with that, and let us deal with people who want to make your life difficult. Ignore them, or send them our way.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alrighty. Before we go into what, do you have any questions or anything? I just know that, so you're the first one now to get this all the updates, what's happening, because this is actually our last call with the mastermind, with the mentorship. Okay. So moving forward, we are going to shift a few things around. The focus will go back into the Goldenpreneur Visionaries group. So we will do a call there every week. Okay. And it will be one will be training on product. Then there will be training on business. Then there will be a Q&A and a hot seat. And we will have guests there, different guest speakers. So it will be on a rotation. We still are going to have this call, okay, but this call is going to move to we are having a call in the group, aren't we? That's what we said. Yeah, we are having that call is going to be on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. Okay, have to now look at what I've written down. So that call is being once a week on Tuesday 6 p.m. And that way, if anybody wants to dive into the Monday huddle, then they can watch the Monday huddle live if they want to. Okay. Now, the point with this call, it is not going to be recorded. Okay, so it is only available for the people who come on live. Unless there is a really intense thing happening, then we'll make that work. But the point is, we show up live. The people who want the business, if they show up live, it's great, because we also know that replays pile up in the background and nobody ever watches them. Okay, so it's very easy for people to say, okay, I'm not there. So this is to focus on the people who are really serious, and focus on the people who are sort of, in and out when they feel like it. Now, with the mentorship, okay, so the mentorship, this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So don't worry about any of your, what are we going to do? So we are going to have a daily Telegram chat. Okay, so you have access to me daily. I will catch up and check up on you daily. Okay, we will have calls. We will definitely have one call a week. So we'll keep the Monday 3:30 that we currently have. Okay, so we'll have that call continuously. But if it is needed in between at any time, then we will talk. I will actually jump on the phone with you, or we'll do voice messages. So to really be right there with you to reach that goal that we set. Okay. And then the third thing, and then you can ask the question. So have you got a pen?
Two.
Good. All right. So you wanted to know the dates for June, and we've set all the dates. So we'll do the 2-day mastermind on the Tuesday and Wednesday, 18th and 19th. Haven't quite set the time yet because we are thinking about either in the morning or in the evening. So we'll see. Okay. But it's 18th and 19th. That's the 2-day mastermind. It doesn't have a name yet. It will get a name on the weekend and the content and the whole thing. Then we're going to have a party, an online party, which is also like a masterclass. Okay, but what we'll do is it's Enagic's 50th birthday party. It's happening in Japan. There will be 8,000 people from all over the world in Japan. We decided not to go for various reasons.
No, we decided not to go for a very important reason.
Yes.
It's my grandson, or our grandson's first birthday.
Yes.
A very good reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, I didn't know that you wanted. Anyway,
Well,
so
I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, he's so cute.
Yeah.
So anyway, but we are going to use that energy, that global energy, and we are using that, and we are going to have an online party. I will give that a name too. Okay. But it is going to be come alive. We will talk about Enagic. We will talk about what it does. We will talk about the history. We'll talk about the business, and we will have a call to action. And there will be some prizes to be won. So I'm literally just churning on whether people who come on live will have the option to win a prize, or it will be something that just sort of is, let's just do this, let's have some fun. But that is also like a masterclass, basically. Okay. And then we're going to have a masterclass, a normal new masterclass, which is going to happen on Thursday, the 27th. Again, I haven't set the times for any of that. We haven't really decided. We're going to decide over the weekend and make it very specific so that we have the name, the time, and so on. So this is what we are going to utilize in June. And I think Bill wants to do, I don't know how you are connected to the US, but Bill wants to do one real-time US time zone masterclass. So that will be sometime in the morning, but he wants to do a live one just directed to the US market. But we haven't set a time or a date or anything. But these 3 things, that is what we're going to utilize also in the mentorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the date for the online party one?
22nd.
Saturday
the 22nd.
Okay, so yep. So there's 1 week there where we have
3 things. Yeah. So we have the mastermind Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the party, which will be like a 24-hour notice thing. Okay. A bit probably very similar as when I did the 72-hour thing, but not like a 72-hour offer or anything, but it will be very short notice, 24, 36 hours maximum invite, because it will be a spontaneous, this is what we decide to do, even though that I'm going to, plan the structure out a bit. But it will be fun. It will be a chat. It will be a party time, because it's a big thing. 50 years in Enagic, it's a big thing. Enagic has a 500-year vision, and we are only 50 years in. So it's a big, 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 it's a big thing. It's a really big thing. And so we thought, if you're not there, then how can we utilize it? How can we maximize it? And that's what we're going to do.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. And it will speak to different people. You know, some people will love it because it's fun, and some people will, love it because they're curious.
Yeah.
So, oops. So, any questions?
So just to clarify with the calls, so it's now just one call a week in the group. Oh, sorry, no, we have a one-on-one for the mentorship, Mondays 3:30, and then
Yep.
it's a call in the group Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and that'll be the different types of trainings and things.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that will be open. So the call will still be on Zoom. Okay, but we used to have we used to announce things in the group, and I would put the topic there so people would know what it is. They knew how to tune in and so on. And we are just bringing that all back into the group, because I've left the group at its own device almost, because I wanted to focus first on some few people that wanted to pick up the game, but then I really, really wanted to focus just on the new people which were in this container. So that's what's going to happen. We're bringing it all back together, because it starts otherwise fizzling out too much, and then I'm spreading myself really thin, because I also have other clients, and we are just otherwise constantly on calls with what we can, sort of condense a little bit.
Okay, no worries. And with the mentorship, well,
You will hear from me.
I will hear from you. Okay.
You
I'm
will
not
hear from me.
gonna think about it until I hear from you. Okay.
Yeah. Look, you will be in, so you already know that you are in. I definitely want to work with you, because, as I said, you are just such a raw talent. It's amazing. And so yeah. So you can also put the Tuesday, already keep the Monday in your calendar. Okay. But we won't do the Thursday calls anymore.
Friday.
The Friday, yeah, today's Friday. We won't do the Friday calls anymore, because otherwise it just gets, too much. We need to see now some action.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for that, you don't need to be on a call all the time. You need to have the time to do some action.
Yeah. Well, like today, I thought Friday I've got off. It's a great day for me to do content and stuff. But then in the morning, I ended up on a 2-hour Bible study call with a friend. Then I had to go to the shop to buy the glass thing. Then I was with my friend, and then we had this call, and I'm like, oh,
Exactly.
I've taken no action today. Well, I have shared the water, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
It's part of work.
part of work.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now moving forward, if you want to do that again, you already have the container.
Yes, exactly.
See? So you have to think, it's always the first time always takes the longest. Once you've done it once, you know what to do. You will get better in transporting it. You might get a box where you can just put it in, and then it doesn't wobble, and then you can put the box on the floor, and it's all easier. But it's the first time with everything is always the most complicated.
Have you put the bottle down as a business expense?
I will.
Yes,
will.
you.
Did I
You kept the receipt?
I don't know. Did I? I think I did. I don't know.
You need to have a box where you put all these receipts
Well,
in.
or because you're running a business, and it's really, really important, because I mean, okay, it depends on your tax bracket, but that's a genuine business expense, as was the petrol. Yeah, I mean, you're renting where you are you, or do you own where you are?
Renting.
So you're claiming an office in your home?
I haven't been. No, I need to get an accountant and actually have
Okay.
my.
So I mean, there are a few things. So you can claim an office at home. Therefore, some of your rent's paid by your business, some of your electricity, gas, and so on and so forth, they're all paid for, and your fuel, because you're running a business from home. So really important things to make sure that you do, because as your income increases, you at the same time want to minimize your tax. So make sure you keep those receipts.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Do you have any questions?
Kat's obviously not interested in what we're doing.
No.
That's better. Yeah, hello.
Sorry for her bum being in your face.
That's all right.
That's
Do I have any questions? I don't think so. Not at this point. Like I know the steps that I need to do. I need to be creating content, adding friends. There's been a few days this week I haven't added people. But yeah, like I know what needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically you need to do it.
Yep.
And also speak to people, always keep your mind open to speak to people as well. Yeah.
I'm going to try again with the cafe people.
Yes.
Uh,
Fantastic.
I'll try tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes.
Okay, I will.
All right. Well, then we can finish for today and you can literally just go and do whatever you need to do.
Wonderful. Well, thank
Great.
you.
Have a great afternoon and get warm.
Yes. See you later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.